Price of XRP has fallen a bit. It's currently at a 24-hour low of just $2.88. And I love that I can say that it's down to $2.88 because most of the nearly 8 years that I've been holding XRP, it's been more like, 30-cent range, plus or minus a little bit. So just the fact that I can even say, let's get our heads right here. Let's get some perspective. The fact that I can say it's down to $2.88, I don't mind that one bit. So yes, the price of XRP is down, but what I'm going to show you in this video, among other things, is that there is still broad expectation from reputable chart analysts that XRP is absolutely going to rocket to double-digit prices, including a couple chart analysts who are both calling for $27 XRP. What we are seeing right now is normal volatility, and the fact that XRP is down doesn't mean that the fundamentals for XRP are worse. In fact, they've never been stronger in the history of this asset. It's been in existence over 13 years. It's never been stronger. The price of XRP is down. Why? Because the whole market's down, because this happens to be, I don't know if you've heard this before, but it turns out crypto is a highly volatile asset class. It always has been. It won't always be, but it always has been, and it is right now. But this is the reason that we have that opportunity for upside. I understand you don't like it when the volatility is to the downside, but the overall trend is upward. This is just normal. And we are not done. This, I'm telling you, yes, we're getting, chronologically towards the end of the market cycle, but the last 10%, that's where the greatest fireworks happen in terms of price action. That's still what's ahead of us. So if you're fearful or worried, what's going on? Why is the price going down? It's just normal volatility. There doesn't have to be some sort of massive trigger every single time. Sometimes it's just the market being volatile because reasons. And that's fine. That's just how this goes. But yeah, the best is definitely yet ahead. So fine, the price of XRP down a little bit at the time I'm recording this, but it's going to rally tremendously. I have very strong conviction that is indeed what is going to come to pass. But before going further, I do want to be clear. I do 2nd, 2025, Bitcoin down to $114,554. Take a look at this 24-hour chart for XRP, though. Right at, as I record this, we're at a 24-hour low in price, down to $2.88. Now look at the 24-hour chart for Bitcoin, right there. You might notice as I flip back and forth between these two charts that they're the same damn chart, and I highlight this just to point out, yes, XRP's down, but it has nothing to do with XRP fundamentals. There's nothing XRP specific out there that caused it to go down. It's the entire market. Look at these charts. It's the same damn chart. The asset class moves in tandem. So this is not a time to be fearful. The trend upwards, which has been going on for 16 freaking years, it's not over. It never makes sense to be fearful just because of volatility. We're here for the volatility. We are correct that XRP makes sense and is an early winner of the crypto space. We're correct that crypto is here to stay. So just having your head right and just understanding, just patience, hodling, that's what gets people rich. If you just understand that, you don't have to fear the short-term price action that's happening here. You know who gets that is Raoul Pal, former Goldman Sachs executive. He's also the founder and CEO of Global Macro Investor and Real Vision. He's one of the more well-known figures in all of crypto, a well-deserved 1.2 million followers. This guy is the reason that I am aware of the degree to which Global M2 is a leading indicator of what happens in crypto, because it is a matter-of-fact statement that Bitcoin follows Global M2 directionally close to 90% of the time, and it has for over a decade now. He's the reason that I know that. And so there's no one metric that's an end-all, be-all metric, but that's about as close as you're going to get. I mean, between that and business cycle, that's pretty much it. And Bitcoin lags Global M2 by about 3 months, and we know that it's led higher. So if you adjust for that lag and overlap those charts, you can see Bitcoin's about to rocket way, way, way higher, and the entire asset class moves in tandem. That would make logical sense. And so here, at 9:48 p.m., just a few hours ago, he simply wrote, "Patience is key to everything, and no leverage." I like that he added that. And so this is happening. He put that simple post out there because he knows people are afraid. And this is after the market had already tanked a whole bunch here, the entire crypto market, not just XRP. But yes, patience is absolutely required. You get paid to wait. That is it. Just look, you can't control when the market goes, so just control the parts that you can control and make peace with the fact that's all you can do. And that's fine. That is sufficient. Either you have exposure when the market goes or you don't. But if you're doing your part and having broad exposure to the market, and I think that XRP should absolutely continue to be a healthy part of that. This is my humble opinion, though you guys do special about me. And if there's anything special about me, it's that I'm more patient than anyone else on earth when it comes to holding crypto. If there's anything at all that's special, that's it. I can do that. I can do nothing. I can literally do nothing, and that's what gets me rich. Like, that's it. And you know what? You can just choose to be rich too by having broad exposure, holding crypto, and then doing nothing. And it's actually easy to do that if you understand why this asset class deserves to and will be here for the long haul. If you get that, and there are tons of reasons as to why, actual utility business models that can exist that otherwise couldn't exist, the freedom that the crypto opens up. If you understand all of these things, then you're going to sleep easy, actually. It's actually, I wouldn't be able to sleep at night if I didn't have exposure to XRP and all these other cryptos that I hold. And then there was also this post from Julian Biddle. He's the head of macro research at Global Macro Investor. Just what a wealth of knowledge this guy is. This guy's absolutely fantastic, working with Raoul Pal. And I actually shared this several days ago when it was initially posted. This is from September 18th. And he simply wrote, "Not even close." And you can see in pink, that's the Bitcoin price going back to basically the beginning of time for crypto, back to like 2010. And then the black line is the Bitcoin cycle top finder. And so this is proprietary, but whatever they're feeding into here, it has consistently, going back to the beginning of time, accurately shown when Bitcoin is hitting a cycle peak. And as you can see, we are nowhere near that, which would make sense because we haven't seen Bitcoin follow global M2 yet, and the business cycle, we haven't seen that flip yet. So all of that actually makes sense. Now, the reason I'm highlighting this again is because Raoul Pal tonight reposted this. His conviction isn't gone just because we're having a little bit of volatility to the negative here in the crypto space. No, the best is yet ahead, folks. I'm telling you. That's not that I literally know that for sure, and I always admit, like, I don't speak in absolutes. I almost never do. And I'm not speaking in absolutes here, but I have strong conviction that by a lot, what is most probable is we're going to have a gigantic blow-off top with euphoria, the likes of which we haven't seen since 2017. I think it's going to dwarf what happened last cycle. Here's a post from chart analyst Matthew Hyland noting that this is just normal price action here. And he posted this in the evening as price is already creating. So Bitcoin at the time was 115,576, so it was down a little bit. But he says, this is a retest of a breakout for Bitcoin. Q3 winding down, Q4 is setting up. And so he gets it. Chart analysts that have been around for more than 5 seconds, they look and they're like, oh yeah, well, here's what's happening, and it's pretty normal. Not a time to be afraid. And then, of course, XRP just follows directionally, which it does the vast majority of the time. Normal stuff here. Here's a post from Altcoin Gordon, one of the more well-known analysts in the space, 810,000 followers on X. And he's highlighting something that a handful of analysts that I follow have been noticing. Like, for instance, the Blockchain Backer. The Blockchain Backer is the first analyst that I ever saw preaching about this. It's the importance of the Russell 2000, which is an index that tracks small cap stocks. And that's important because as you go further out the risk curve, which is what that represents, small caps being considered riskier than large cap stocks, of course. That indicates if those purchases are picking up, that indicates an increased appetite for purchasing riskier assets. Well, when that happens, historically, that's the same time that alts go crazy in the crypto market. And so he also shows, so that's Russell 2000 on the left. Then you got Total 3 on the right. Total 3 is the name of the chart that shows the top 125 coins by market cap, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. And he's just noting it's the same damn thing, okay? When Russell 2000 goes, so do our altcoins. XRP's in there, boys, like boys and girls. It's in there. It is about to go blasty blast. Look at this. And so on Sunday he wrote, Russell 2000 hit a new all-time high. You have no idea how bullish this is for alt season. Actually, that's incorrect. I know exactly how bullish this is for altcoins. So his sentiment is definitely correct. This is ridiculously bullish. We have been waiting literally almost 4 years for this to happen. And when this happened this past week, I highlighted it the day it happened when the Russell 2000 hit a new all-time high. Now, we do need to see it go into full-blown price discovery. As far as I'm concerned, it's just a matter of time. This is not going to be the first cycle where we don't have an alt season. That's just a stupid idea. Like, humans are no longer interested in maximizing profit, because that's what that would mean. You realize that, right? That would mean, well, we've got all of our profit in Bitcoin, but we're not going to take it and put it into altcoins that haven't run yet. Like, come on, dude. Like, we're the same humans with the same DNA, participating in the same asset class. We're just no longer interested in maximizing profit. Get the hell out of here. That's silly nonsense. Of course humans are going to do that. Here's a post from chart analyst Credible Crypto. Because somebody named Crypto Y wrote, I have a very bad mental state now, Credi. You think we can get to at least $120,000 Bitcoin this year? Well, I mean, we already have, but I guess he means getting back up to it. Fair enough. Fair enough question here. People get hit in their feels when price go down, number go down, net worth down. Oh my God, my feels. Okay. Calm down, son. Calm down. And so here's what Credible Crypto had to say. And I'm glad he said this. He wrote, a reminder that literally nothing has changed on the higher time frame, meaning big picture. In fact, we haven't even broken $105,000, which was the first significant price level that would have invalidated the most bullish scenario. Don't let the chop get to you. Nothing has changed over the last few weeks. And folks, he is one of the best analysts in all of crypto, in my humble opinion. A well-deserved 476,000 followers now on X. He's been here a long time. And he's still calling for XRP to peak this market cycle somewhere between $20 to $30. Now, I don't make price predictions. I don't know if that's right, but I know it ain't crazy. $20 to $30 XRP this market cycle, that's absolutely possible. Lots of other analysts agree that this is within the realm of reality. For instance, here's a post on Sunday from chart analyst Greg Crypto, and he simply wrote, the bullish rectangular formation is loading. And you can see there's the schematic of that particular play. He's just saying that's what's loading right now for XRP, basically. Targeting literally $27. So you can see you get the first leg up for the market cycle. And certainly that happened in November of 2024. Then you move sideways for a period of time. Then you get the second leg. And that's targeting $27. And historically, this is normal. Last cycle, you got one leg up in terms of price action. Very exciting. Then you move sideways about half a year, a little more maybe. Then you get that second burst. And so it's not that the timing has to be literally the same, but structurally, that's the thing that if history rhymes, will play out. And history does tend to rhyme with itself. So I'll not be surprised if that ends up being the case. And so far, it has structurally played out just like that. It's strikingly similar. So we'll see here. Here's a post from Barry C., who wrote XRP to $1,000. Now, no offense to anybody that actually believes that, but that is silly. It's not happening. XRP is not going to $1,000. But that was reposted by Chart Nerd, and he had a more realistic take here. And he simply wrote XRP to $27. So he agrees with Greg Crypto. And I agree with this. Now, not that I'm predicting this. I'm not in the price prediction game. I admit, I don't know where price is going. I just believe big picture way, way, way higher than this. Obviously, I believe that, or else I wouldn't own XRP if I didn't genuinely believe that, especially after almost 8 years. No, I wouldn't be doing that, but I do believe it. But that seems way more in line with reality there. XRP to 20, and that's what that would be buck wild. You understand if it gets up there? You know where XRP bottomed this market cycle, right? In June of 2022, that's when XRP bottomed for the market cycle at 28 cents. If XRP goes from 28 cents to $27, that's a monster run over a span of just a few years. That is huge and will be wildly life-changing. So we don't need the fantasy stuff talking about XRP going to $1,000, especially not this cycle. That's just silliness as far as I'm concerned. That is my honest opinion. Now, I don't mean that to insult anybody. I really just don't think that makes a damn bit of sense. Here a post from chart analyst Harry at Geraldo XRP. Now, this guy, he is very well known in the XRP community for having called the beginning of what previously was the biggest run in XRP history in the middle of December 2017, when it ran from about 20 cents up to $3.35. He called it. And he called the top of it. And what did he have to say on Sunday? He wrote, XRP about to make a move higher, in my opinion. And by the way, there are lots of analysts that have been calling for this. So the fact that in the short term on a Sunday we happen to be down, like whatever, what happens price wise on a Sunday almost never freaking matters. Just to be honest with you, it typically doesn't. Whether it's pumping or it's to the downside, it's like unless something actually terrible and scary happened, which is almost never the case, it just doesn't freaking matter. And so he's calling for a move higher in the short term. It sounds. He thinks that's by a lot what is most probable. And I have seen that from tons of analysts. By the way, here's a post from Charting Guy, also from Sunday. He wrote XRP with BNB fractal. And this is fascinating. And he's been comparing this for some time. And well, he's also been expecting BNB, which is Binance coin, to rocket. And oh my God, it has. It just hit another new all-time high within the last 24 hours. Actually, I got it right here. Yeah, here it is. This is it's a 12-month chart. Let's go 24. But yeah, it's currently at $1,017, 24-hour high, which is an all-time high, actually, right here, $1,082.48. And so on December 3rd of last year, 2024, he wrote BNB, that's Binance coin, to $1,000, by the way. Now, at the time, Binance coin was $618, so he's calling for a massive increase. Well, here we are. We just had to wait a little bit, and it happened. So he says Binance coin, this is what he posted Sunday, Binance $618 to $1,060 at the time anyway. Check. Says just had to wait 10 months. Patience is always awarded in crypto. You know what that sounds like? What Raoul Paul wrote here. Patience is key to everything and no leverage. And folks, please no leverage. You do not need leverage. If the thousands of percentage gains you can get in crypto isn't enough for you, and you need to spice it up, add a little pepper, by using leverage, get your freaking head checked, okay? You do not need to do that to get life-changing wealth. You're just adding unnecessary risk. It's ridiculous. So there's Rob Paul calling for patience, and then you've got Charting Guy here saying, yeah, patience is always awarded in crypto. Yeah, that's how it works. That is absolutely how it works. And so what he's saying here, and this post is XRP with BNB fractal, it's playing out the same. You had a big pump, it's moving sideways, and so he's just saying, obviously, if it plays out that way, you're going to see a massive move for XRP. This is the type of thing that can happen in crypto. So we'll see if it plays out like that fractal is right there. But you see the possibility here. But if you were just in BNB and checking it day in, day out, maybe it like shattered your will to live because the price just moving sideways. And I want my Lambo on the moon right now. I want my Lambo on the moon. You little baby back biatch. I understand that. That happens in every community, not just with XRP holders. It breaks you. That's what the markets do. It is a matter-of-fact statement. And so I'm just showing you that already happened with BNB, and then it's been rocketing higher. Well, don't be surprised when XRP one day starts going. I don't pretend to know when. I never do. But it's just obvious directionally. That's by a lot what makes way more sense than everything just crumbling and going to zero. You just have to be patient. It's not rocket science. That's how this works, folks. Here's a post from chart analyst Ether Nazanol, and he wrote, "Don't sleep on XRP. Second bull round is coming." So there's another analyst here, and I may have highlighted this the other day. This is from September 18th. I think I shared this actually in a video. But I just wanted to highlight, there are tons of analysts that are like, yeah, so we had our first major leg up back in 2024. Obviously, XRP broke out of a symmetrical triangle in July, hit a new all-time high. Just a little bit of sideways price action. This thing's going to go, and he's targeting over $10 just in this chart. Then there's chart analyst Xenia, who wrote, XRP is showing signs of a bigger move. So here's another analyst that agrees. This is from a few days ago, but still. It's not like the price goes down in the short term, and my higher time frame, it's all broken now. That's not how this works, dude. It's just not how this works. So he says, XRP is showing signs of a bigger move. A bull flag breakout already puts $5 plus in play, while a larger pattern stretching back to 2024 hints at $15. So everything's fine, folks. Just be patient a little bit longer. And look, the market's XRP and everything, it's falling even more as I'm wrapping up this video here. It doesn't matter. Even if the prices are lower by the time you're watching this, it does not matter. You're listening to somebody who has been through literally every single up and down for XRP since The day I first bought XRP, I've never sold a single XRP in my life. I first bought XRP November 17th, 2017. I've been through every single up and down. And I didn't know when all the ups and downs were going to happen. I just always had, for good reason, strong conviction, the trend would be to the upside. So it doesn't matter if you understand all of this. It just doesn't matter. Everything is fine. So yeah, $2.76, Bitcoin now down to $112,952. You have Ethereum down to 4,151, Binance Coin down to 1,011. Like everything's going down now. So what? So frickin' what? It doesn't matter. The market is still in prime position. This thing's, it's so teed up. It absolutely is. So, at some point in the future, perhaps sooner than later, maybe even today, I don't pretend to know, you're going to see a lot of green. You're going to see prices rocket. And either you're going to have exposure to the market when that happens or you're not. I can tell you for sure that when that happens, not if, but when that happens, I will have exposure to the market because I'm taking zero action based on this information. I'm literally doing nothing. The price went down. My net worth is lower as a result of this. I don't give a damn. It doesn't matter. I am doing literally nothing. I've been doing nothing for almost 8 freaking years, and my net worth is so much higher than it would have been had I done something. If I had done something, my net worth would not be as high as it is right now. I would have mucked it up. You know, but the humans just, they have this inclination, like, I got to tinker with my positions. Oh, but it's going down. I should sell something. This thing looks like that, Michael. Stop it. Stop it. You are I'm going to be honest with you. You are the greatest risk to you getting life-changing wealth in crypto. You are. You yourself are your own greatest risk. Because humans have shown time and again that most humans they're going to feel like they got to do something when the obvious best move is to do literally nothing. History keeps showing us that. The fundamentals for XRP have never been stronger. This bad boy is going to run. We are not done. The market cycle is not over. Global liquidity shows, it leads Bitcoin and thus the entire crypto asset class, including XRP. It shows that you should expect higher. And the business cycle, I keep harping on this one recently too, for good reason. It hasn't even flipped to the point where you can see like we're entering the end phase. And we're not seeing any top indicators actually flip, there's like 30 of them listed on CoinMarketCap. I highlighted that recently. Literally none of them have flipped. This is not a time to be afraid. This is a time to be excited, folks. So